Today we're going to go down to Unit 1, and then we are on Chapter 2, Lesson 5, Input Output. So for this lesson, we are going to go to this Unit 1, Lesson 5, Inputs Outputs, and we're going to click on this activity guide here. Go ahead and make a copy. Put your name up top, and then we have our key vocabulary right here. So today we are talking about inputs and outputs. Input is the information that a computer gets from the user, devices, or other computers. And output is the information the computer gives to users, devices, or others' computers. So we're going to look at a couple of things today. The first thing is going to be our pet chooser. So go ahead and follow that link into code.org. So we have our pet chooser app here. Go ahead and play with this a little bit. Make sure that you hit run at the bottom, and that's going to run the app. Click here to start. You're going to answer the questions, and then you'll get your result. What I would suggest for this is have half your screen filled with this and half the screen filled with the activity guide. There we go. Just like how I have here. Once you've played around with it for a little bit, go ahead and go back to your activity guide. And we're going to fill this out. So remember that inputs is the information computer gets from the user. So when we're doing this, it's asking us questions. So different inputs are like, are you allergic to pet fur? The next question is, should the pet be noisy? And then we get the betta fish. And so output, an example is the betta fish. So go ahead and mess with this. There are definitely more inputs and more outputs that you could get. So go ahead and answer the questions in different ways. And so you can get different questions. And then get different outputs. And so you can fully figure this worksheet out. So you're going to try to find all the inputs and all the outputs that you can. After that, you're going to move into the story creator. So if you accidentally close this out, you can click the story creator app, but you could also just go over to bubble 3, and that's going to be your story creator. And so it's asking you for inputs and outputs of this as well. So think about what you're giving the computer. So what are you inputting? Hint, hint, it's right over here. And then your outputs are going to be what that story is. And so I don't want you to type out the entire story. Just tell me what that story's general idea is and what it's about. Then you're going to think about an app idea for yourself. And so if you're doing this by yourself, that's okay. Just try to think of a new app idea. You're going to answer what it does, what inputs you're going to need for this app, and what outputs are going to be given. So make sure that you're thinking about the two apps that we just looked at while you are thinking of your own app. The next section is talking about other inputs. So far, all the inputs that we have seen come directly from the user. I want you to brainstorm other ways an app might get information that it needs. So think about like your cell phone. For example, a camera would be and input. Because we use our camera for a lot of things. And so maybe we need to take a picture of, I don't know, a receipt or something like that. Or if you have a banking app, you take pictures of your check to input that data into the computer so you can deposit a check. So think about other things that your phone uses that give inputs and fill out the rest of those blanks. And then we're going to go on to the improved pet app. So that's going to be Bubble 4, or you can just follow this link. We're going to try this out. It gives the user information about pet stores close by, which uses new sources of input to determine the information that the app gets from each source of the input. And so you're thinking about that, what the user is, what the phone sensor is, and what the internet is. Remember, you're thinking about how your phone gets the input of how close a store is, a pet store is. And then to end this, we're going to talk about your app idea. How could you use other sources of input to improve your app idea? So maybe you can use a camera instead of a picture or something like that. Whatever your app idea is, think about the inputs for that. If you have any questions, please send me an email.